Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We thank you for joining us. My name is Lydia Odije Ochi. We now begin with the Federal Executive Council that has approved the establishment of 20 new private universities in the country. Among them is Mariam Abacha, American University of Nigeria, Kano. The Minister of Education, Adamu, announced this while briefing journalists after the Council's meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. Details of this story will come in our subsequent bulletins. Farmers from some northern parts of the country are in for a dry spell when the rainy season sets in, with residents in flood-prone areas urged to stay alert. This is coming from the formal presentation of the seasonal climate prediction of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency in Abuja. Abdullahi Mohammed reports.
It's a collection of research carried out by erudite academicians and other professionals in climate study. And after every 365 days, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, comes up with a new prediction that guides players in the different sectors of the economy to plan. The records shows that the rains this year is expected to shower for about 100 days up north and 300 days down south, with a hitch of dry spell up north and flooding in flashpoints across the country.
People that are planning travels like us in civil aviation, people that are planning for farming as in agriculture, people that are planning for buildings and construction, all of these and many more will benefit.
Among the critical stakeholders expected to utilize data from the seasonal climate prediction is Idi Baba, who is here monitoring his farm. But the question here is, how will this information get to him?
We do what is known as downscaling. Downscaling means we follow to the state and the local government, and we discuss with the various stakeholders at these levels so that we'll explain to them.
About 38 million smallholder farmers are expected to be reached, with millions of others from different sectors waiting to tap from the prediction towards formulation of policies.
We have to be climate change smart.
A computer application has also been added to the series of methods in making the information from the prediction available on the go. In Abuja, Abdullahi Mohammed, NTA News.
The extension of the enrollment and NIN-SIM linkage deadline to April 6, 2021 by the federal government may be soothing news for many who are yet to get theirs done. But establishing more centers to ease the process is a task others say should accompany the extension. ICT correspondent Joseph Johnson reports that more than 56 million number of NINs collected so far represents a significant increase when compared with the 47.8 million reported by the Technical Committee on January 18, 2021.
There are still more people that are yet to submit their NINs, and also that the majority have not yet even enrolled. So the purpose of the extension is to make sure that everybody comes out to enroll.
Cheering news for most Nigerians, but the Director General of NIMSI believes the move will only pay off if people stop procrastinating and use the period to get enrolled and their NINs linked with their SIM cards. With the exercise discontinued at the National Identity Management Commission's headquarters, the usual crowd that besieged the epicenter seems to have shifted to other designated points, especially the Wuse Zone 3 Center, where enrollment activities were shut down due to the unmanaged crowd. While some are unaware of the change in the deadline, others are simply indifferent.
With the number we are seeing here, with the kind of restriction we are seeing here, how can we be sure that, yes, this thing will be done before that time? Headquarters is locked, here is locked, everywhere is locked. So it means even throughout this year, we can't even do it.
With this extension of the time, we will do more. But Nigeria too should take this opportunity, give it to them again to come out, earmarks and register.
It is hoped that with the additional 8 weeks and activation of about 1,060 registration centers across the country, as well as the deployment of resources to open thousands of enrollment centers by mobile network operators, the country may well achieve its national identity quest. Joseph Johnson, NTA News.
Meanwhile, more foreign nationals in Nigeria are being captured for the National Identification Number exercise mandated by the federal government. The new policy is to have data of citizens and other persons residing in the country for issues on national development and security. The diplomatic community are registered at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs with strict adherence to coronavirus guidelines. While appraising the exercise, the foreign nationals say the initiative is in line with new global agenda in confronting multiple challenges affecting almost all nations on the planet.
I can say that the process went very well and is a very good idea for Nigerian government to collect data from all diplomats working in Nigeria. So we did it without any problem and everything works well.
And now to NCDC update. A total of 1,634 new infectious cases of COVID-19 has been confirmed by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control as at Tuesday, 2nd of February 2021. Lagos has 440 confirmed cases, Anambra has 160, FCT 158, Rivers 134, Abia 103, Oyo 90, Enugu 81, Osun 73, Gombe 54, Kwara 50, Ogun 32. Others are Plateau 32, Akwa Ibom 31, Ondo 24, Borno and Delta 23, Ebonyi and Taraba 21, Bayelsa 16, Kaduna 15, Nasarawa 13. Jigawa has 12, Bauchi and Kano have 11 each, Zamfara recorded 4, and Sokoto 2. Following a report from one of the dailies that a staff of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, died of COVID-19, Olayinka Ojo in this report visited the NYSC orientation camp Kubwa to ascertain the level of compliance to COVID-19 protocols.
Since adherence to COVID-19 protocol is non-negotiable, I was subjected to COVID-19 tests. And it was after certified negative that I was allowed to continue my assignment.
The actual rapid test takes about 15 minutes. Then the other 5 minutes to generate your data, get your bottles ready, and then collect your sample.
Members of the camp community were all on their masks. While we continued our investigations, we found out that an infection protection and control team comprising staff and youth corps members was set up. This made the level of compliance more efficient.
It actually feels good to see someone that
We apologize for that technical hitch. Now let us talk more about the NYSC victim of COVID-19. Now, joining me via Zoom to talk more on the death of the camp officer is the Director General of the NYSC, Shuaibu Ibrahim. Hello, Director General. Thank you for joining us on Nationwide.
Thank you for having me.
Now, tell us, what is really the situation surrounding the death of one of your resident officers who allegedly died of COVID-19 complications at the Kano NYSC orientation camp?
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. In line with the PTF and the NCDC's guideline, prospective corps members and camp officials that were allowed to come to camp for the orientation exercise are subjected to testing by the use of the RDT test kits. The testing is mandatory, and only those that are negative are allowed into camp. So wherever you see the camp nationwide, there are 7 camps of the Federation, are officials and corps members that are negative. So those that are positive were taken away to the isolation center by the NCDC and state health officials for treatment. And then so far, the isolation center has been fantastic. All cases were treated and discharged accordingly. Unfortunately, we lost a staff, which we are discussing now. And to our surprise and misinformation, that this staff died in the orientation camp. It's not true. He died at the isolation center, being managed by the NCDC and the Kano State health officials. So that is what transpired. And I said the NYC, we don't compromise on the safety of our corps members and our staff. And that is why the corps members and the NYC were involved in the campaign against the COVID-19. Corps members produced face masks, sanitizers, disinfectant soap, and even embarked on sensitization and distribution of free palliatives to indigent Nigerians. So we know what it takes to abide by this. And we know the NCDC, they are very strict.
Okay, now, if I may cut in here. Now, with this incident, does that imply that there is or there are the possibilities that some officials or prospective corps members did not go through the COVID-19 test as the deceased officer was said to have been posted to Kano a few days before his death?
No. You see, we have a representative of the headquarter element in all the camps of the Federation. Just as they report first before the prospective corps members. So they are subjected to testing. So those that are positive are taken for treatment. And that's what happened before the prospective corps members start coming, because the officials are supposed to report to camp earlier to prepare the camp before the resumption of the reporting of the prospective corps members. In the process, he now was found wanting and he was taken for treatment. And it was earlier before the prospective corps members started reporting.
Okay, now that this unfortunate incident has happened, what do you have to tell parents and guardians as it relates to the safety of their wards and children?
You see, I want to assure parents that in line with the NCDC's guidelines, NYC is adhering strictly to the protocol. I'm happy you show a clip where Onyinka Ojo visited Kubwa camp in Abuja. And that is how all our camps nationwide are structured. And before the opening of our camps, the NCDC visited all the 37 camps nationwide and certified them that everything is in line before the orientation started. And the magic was the introduction of the RDT test kits that takes 15 minutes, has been explained by the officer, the staff, who normally conduct the test in the camp there. 15 minutes, the result is out. And the moment anybody is positive, we are not allowed to the camp. The test takes place outside by the gate, not within. It's by the gate. And NYC adjusted to it. And just as I keep telling, when I crack jokes with my NCDC staff, I tell them that this orientation is now being run by the NCDC because they are there with us, and apart from those who are present with us in camp, they also come from the headquarters in Abuja on an impromptu visit to all the camps of the Federation. And so far, we don't find any challenge. So, you know, the camp is an enclosed one. So once you are into the camp, you don't go out. If any of the staff that have to go out on a very critical issue, once he returns to the camp, he must be tested before he comes back. He is allowed in. If you are found wanting, you're not allowed. Recently, even yesterday, the members of the House of Representatives on officer control to account in Kefi were all subjected to what? To test. And the same thing with the NYC National Governing Board. We also subjected to test. So nobody, even myself as a DG, I'm also subjected to test. I'm sure you must have been seeing my film and reading on the dailies. I've gone to 7 camps, and I just returned from the Taraba camp. I was subjected to testing, and my officials. So
thank you so much. Thank you so much for the assurances you've given to Nigerians in general. Thank you so much. We've been talking to the Director General of the NYSC, Brigadier General Shuaibu Ibrahim. Thank you indeed. Moving on now, Kano State Government has shut down a private health facility for allegedly handling severe cases of COVID-19. The action followed an assessment visit to the hospital by officials including the State Commissioner of Health, Aminu Ibrahim Sanyawa, and that of Information, Mohammed Garba. Abdullahi Mustafa has the details.
The private health facility owned and being operated by Indians is situated along Gwarza Road in Kano metropolis. It reportedly accounts for one of the recent COVID-19 related deaths in Kano. Another patient was also said to have died while being taken to the hospital. This is in addition to 2 others who are on admission for severe symptoms of the viral disease. Kano State Task Force on COVID-19 described the situation as unprofessional and could trigger community transmission.
The center doesn't have the facility to manage critical cases and severe cases of COVID-19. So they are adding up to our mortality for COVID.
The task force directed the immediate transfer of the 2 COVID-19 patients to an isolation center and closure of the hospital.
For those with medical and surgical conditions, we have made adequate arrangement with Muhammad Abdullahi Wase Teacher Hospital, Murtala Mami Specialist Hospital, where we have all evacuated the patients to that facilities. So
the commissioner warned that any attempt to undermine the state government's efforts towards containing community transmission of the disease will be dealt with. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
This is nationwide. Our first port of call is Lagos Network Center, and Hingino will be guiding us. Hello, Hingino.
Hello, Lydia. We begin here with politics. Chairman, Lagos State All Progressives Congress APC, Tunde Balogun, says the registration and revalidation of members will enable the party have another reliable register. Adeola Komiakere reports.
Every political party works to woo more members to increase the chances of victory at elections, as politics is a game of numbers. This, the governing All Progressives Congress is aiming to achieve with the registration of prospective members and revalidation of old members. In Lagos, the state chairman, Tunde Balogun, says arrangement has been put in place to ensure a hitch-free exercise to streamline and have a comprehensive party register.
Actual and general registration will really be on the 9th of February, Tuesday 9th of February, and that will be next week. We are preparing for that by training people who will do the registration because new members have come in. Those who are of age now, 18 years old, have been brought in. Some have died. Those ones have been deleted by this kind of process.
President Buhari, while flagging off the national APC membership registration in Daura, urged Nigerians to use the opportunity to renew their allegiance to the party and keep faith with the party's rules and regulations in order to take Nigeria to the next level. In Lagos, Adeola Komiakere, NTA News.
Talking youth empowerment now. Beyond growing the number of empowered youths in the country, the federal government Youth Investment Program is equally promoting a new consciousness among youths, forcing a mental shift away from white-collar jobs to a renewed spirit of entrepreneurship and economic self-reliance. In Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital, Adeni Taiwo reports that many of the beneficiaries are working on growing their seed to trees that can provide shade for others.
Daniel Kingsley is busy but happy. With his deft hands and prowess at leatherworks, he has carved a niche for himself as a budding entrepreneur whose products draw patronage from far and near.
Last year, December, at least I have like 7 PS that they took outside. They took it to UK.
He has capital, one factor of production less to worry about, having benefited from the resettlement package of a federal government youth empowerment program.
They asked me, what do you need to start up your own? I said, okay, I have a sewing machine. So they said, no, can you operate the industrial machine? I said, yes. So they helped me. At least they gotten one for me. And that's what I'm using to train my students.
Shehu Abdurrahim got a similar head start from the federal government, and with a monthly proceeds of about 300,000 naira from his aluminium fabrication business, he believes the way out of unemployment in the country is for government to sustain investment in youth development.
I can't leave this work and work in the office because this work is okay for me.
Technical input provided by the NDE is a major component of the investment program, and it has positioned Daniel and Sheu's businesses along with that of other beneficiaries in Lagos on a positive trajectory.
We work hand in hand with some organizations that have the funds to give out, like the microfinance, NISA Microfinance Bank, an offshoot of the Central Bank.
Convinced that providing youth with tools for economic self-reliance is the way to go, the federal government in 2020 announced the disbursement of 75 billion naira Youth Investment Fund through the Central Bank of Nigeria. In Lagos, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
We now go on a break. Nationwide continues shortly.
Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, FNCS, FBCS, FIIM, cordially invites you to the groundbreaking ceremony of the National Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center on Thursday, 4th February 2021 by 12 p.m. behind Bolingo Hotel, Central Area, Abuja. The center, aimed at creating an innovative ecosystem, will focus on building an enabling environment that would inspire, connect, and support technology startups, entrepreneurs, and businesses towards innovations and indigenization of technologies. It will be equipped with state-of-the-art facilities that will catalyze innovations by all stakeholders, thereby stimulating economic vitality to create jobs for Nigeria's teeming youths. This is another giant stride of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration towards realizing the vision of transforming Nigeria into a leading digital economy, providing quality life and opportunities for all. Attendance is strictly by invitation in compliance with COVID-19 regulations. Announcer Kashifu Inuwa Abdullahi, CCIE Director General, NTA.
I bring you wonderful news. The village headmaster is coming back to your screen. Mo wire abi mi o wire. Teacher yo, a fẹ́ lọ wá nǹkan jẹ. Teacher yo, a fẹ́ lọ wá nǹkan jẹ. Ọmọ onírẹsì ti dé.
Ajebo na better school for last gidi. Not be all this on a rugged yes school for Ijabi. I don't know for you.
It's called Oja Village. Kadesi. We no happy at all.
And I know that even you too, you are getting a lot of orders too. Hey, we are trying, shall sweep her leg out. She was standing there. Sweep it.
I love you so much.
And how did I give you the impression that I was interested in that position?
50-year anniversary.
You mean anniversary?
I talk with that now.
Not for me. Not for me because of Pamio.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide a company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk. Application for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Arsenal will seek revenge against Aston Villa after their loss to their opponents at the Emirates Stadium last time out. Will they succeed, or will Villa do the double over the Gunners this season? Find out this Saturday when Aston Villa welcome Arsenal to Villa Park on the Premier League Live, showing on the NTA network from 1 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank, Babai Jebu, Lipton, and Close Up, in association with Gold.com.
Welcome back. Investment in youthful population of any nation remains a major catalyst in driving critical sectors of the economy for rapid socio-economic development. This is why, since assumption of office in 2015 of the current administration, the government has continued to focus on investment in the youth for economic development. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports that guests on NTA Current Affairs program Tuesday Live underscored the sustainable progress with multiplier effects on individuals and the economy.
The nation's heartbeats while the future of leaders of generations to come blinks. This may, however, be the usual slogan that threatens youth ambition of starting small and growing big before the birth of the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. Today, the narrative has changed as billions of naira on the different youth empowerment and investment programs has been injected to salvage mistakes of the past and create a dependable future.
It is the responsibility of the ministry now to partner with all these agencies, not only one, not the agencies, even with the ministries. If there is any opportunity like this, it is not meant for the people in Abuja or the people in the state capitals. It is for Nigerians. So it is their responsibility to find a means, to find a medium that will reach out to all nooks and crannies of this country.
You don't need to know anyone. If you have an authentic idea, if you have an idea, and seriously, there are a lot of youth out there with innovative products. You just need to show up. Just keep showing up. If there is an exhibition, be there.
Guests say no government in the history of Nigeria has made a huge investment on its youth and expressed confidence that beneficiaries of the funds will in the nearest future build an economy that is self-reliant.
Between 2015 and 2020, those of us that have been tracking, this empowerment thing can say that to a large extent, the government had deliberately deployed policies, and programs to elevate and upskill the Nigerian youth.
Those social interventions are social interventions, as they were called, an effort to limit, to alleviate. They are not permanent solutions.
As government continues to accord priority to the youth, stakeholders say utilization of the funds should meet the collective aspiration of all for a productive and prosperous country. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
A public-private partnership project for the establishment of a leather processing factory is underway at Janguza Ultra-Modern Custodial Center in Kano State. At a groundbreaking ceremony, Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola says inmates that will pass through the facility for skills acquisition will be transformed for the betterment of their immediate families and the nation at large.
The 5 hectares of land carved for tannery and leather processing factory is aimed at reintegrating the inmates, create revenue for the federal and state governments with an estimated capacity of 400,000 hides yearly. At the groundbreaking ceremony, Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola represented expressed federal government's commitment to reducing restiveness among youth. He urged the leadership of Correctional Service to maintain the enviable productive engagement of the immediate past Controller General.
This factory was initiated for us to help the inmates on their discharge. They become useful to themselves and to the society generally.
Kano State is widely known as the center of commerce in Nigeria, and the leather produced in the state is among the best in the world. With the establishment of a modern processing facility such as this, we can assure you that the quality of leather coming out of Kano will only get better.
Any activity that will lead to the increase of employment is something that is very welcome.
The project is expected to create more than 5,000 direct and indirect jobs within Kano and its environs when completed. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has called for a moral and ethical reorientation across all sectors in order to achieve a corrupt-free society. This was on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria while discussing Transparency International's report on Nigeria. Kemini Williams monitored that.
The 2020 Corruption Perception Index (CPI) report released by Transparency International says Nigeria ranked 149th on its latest Corruption Perception Index after it peaked 25 points. Speaking on this development, Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed says federal government has initiated significant policies to enhance transparency and accountability in governance and are currently being implemented. Some of the policies include launch of the ICPC National Ethics Policy and Nigerian Ports Process Manual, among other reforms.
It will appear as if Nigeria's fight against corruption has derailed, but far from it. What the government has done is actually to put emphasis more on preventing corruption and building integrity system. So it takes quite some time before you see the effect. And in addition to all this, even you can see that even the prosecution of high profile suspects is still going on.
He says government is working towards improving upon data collection and retrieval on these issues to reduce the current underreporting of ongoing corruption reduction measures.
We're also concerned that we've received various assessments from various international and even local anti-corruption agencies. And sometimes you find out that while you are scored high by one agency on one particular index, you are scored low by another agency. So these are issues that we are addressing.
The minister, however, says government is interrogating some discrepancies observed in the rating, which scored Nigeria low and in some cases stagnant for over 10 years. He admonishes Nigerians to cooperate with government in the anti-corruption fight by maintaining moral standards. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
The Department of State Services is once again warning the public of plans by persons and groups who want to exploit some fault lines to cause ethno-religious violence in parts of the country. A statement by the DSS says the latest developments indicate desperate efforts by these groups to subvert public order. The DSS explains that the group have continued to resort to inciting unguarded and divisive statements and acts. The objective is to pitch citizens against one another in order to apparently inflame the embers of tribal and religious discords. The service hereby warns these elements to desist forthwith from their nefarious acts or face the full wrath of the law. DSS says it will continue to collaborate with other security agencies to ensure the safety of lives and property of the citizenry. Sokoto is next, and Sadia is standing by with more reports. Hello, Sadia.
Lydia, thanks for joining us. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, through the State Office of Emergency Management, SEMA, has distributed relief materials to victims of armed banditry in Isa and Sabon Birni local government areas of Sokoto State. Sheikh Muhammad Detti completes the report.
The relief materials distributed include bags of cement, mattresses, blankets, brocades, as well as bags of rice, maize, and other daily needs. Some of the beneficiaries applauded the federal government for the relief materials, calling on the government to ensure proper security for their domains.
Mun gode Allah saka da alheri.
An kawo mana tallafi kuma mun gode ni ban sai da ka saboda ina da marayu marayu nake ka ku ga ba yiwa abin abincin ta in rabi
kuma mun ne musu addu'a Allah ya kai su duk inda suka bukata.
Director Relief and Rehabilitation of the State Emergency Management Agency Mustafa Umar urged the beneficiaries to make good use of the materials provided. He said the materials are meant to cushion the effect caused by the bandits' attack, assuring that the government is doing its best to ensure that normalcy return to them.
Before we even bring the items down to this place, they made a committee that is taking care of all the distributions that is being carried out. They are the one handling the issues, and we have not had any complaint from any other places.
Lawmaker representing the two local governments at the House of Representatives, Mama Saidu Bargaja, and the district heads of the two local governments called for sustained prayers for peace and security of the area and the state at large. The two local governments were the worst hit by bandit attacks in the state. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
Now, Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu has described as unfortunate the recent bandit attacks on Munhaye community in Danko local government area of Kebbi State, where more than 20 people were killed. The governor, who was on condolence visit to the area with Senator Bala Ibn Na'Allah, called on traditional rulers to step up efforts with security agencies to flush out bad eggs in their midst. Osman Abdullahi Shehu has the report.
Unfortunate incident happened last week when gunmen on motorcycle claimed to be from the neighboring Zamfara state crossed and invaded a border community of Munhaye in Kebbi State, which resulted to many communities members lost their lives, including 2 soldiers, and property destroyed. Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu at the visit sympathized with the members of the community, describing the attack as unfortunate and barbaric. The governor, who prayed for lasting peace and unity in the state and the country, condoled the families of those who lost their lives, sympathized with the injured, as well as pray for the recovery of the missing ones. Governor Bagudu equally acknowledged federal government commitment to security and patriotic effort of security agencies in ensuring peace in the country. He appealed to people in the community to be tolerant to each other, adding that government will continue effort to safeguard people's lives and properties. The chairman Donkosogu local government Suleiman Sahabi and the chief of Wasogu Chiefdom Mukhtar Muhammad commended the governor for his concern on security issues in the area. Senator Bala Ibn Na'Allah, representing Kebbi South, who commiserated with the communities, explained that federal government and Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu will do whatever is necessary to restore lasting peace in the area. The Kebbi State government donated assistance to the victims. Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
That's it from this end. It's now back to Lydia with more news.
Many thanks, Sadia. Nigeria's largest national park, Gashaka Gumti, located in Taraba and Adamawa states, is recognized as a prospective contributor to the nation's economy. Without security, the prospects will remain untapped, and so Africa Nature Investors, in a 30-year agreement, is providing technical support to protect and develop the park. Onengie Fineface has more.
Gashaka Gumti National Park in Taraba and Adamawa State is famous as a haven for animals like chimpanzees, monkeys, antelopes, pangolins, and leopards. It has a vast rainforest, mountains, and upland plateau grassland with cool weather, and serves as a watershed for the River Benue, supporting millions of Nigerians with fresh water for agriculture and fishing. Now the park, however, faces threats from logging, poaching, mining, and illegal cattle grazing.
To join hands with the federal government in ownership and management of infrastructure utilities, as well as the competitive provision of utility service in our national parks to enhance protection.
Africa Nature Investors Foundation, as part of our 30-year agreement, which with the National Park Service is providing the training and equipment needed to make the park safe for tourist and economic activities.
If we can establish security in this area and establish an environment that is conducive to investment, then there will be a generation of jobs and huge opportunity in the tourism sector.
Improving the security means building confidence in the visitor.
That means creating job opportunity for our roaming youth, thereby reducing unemployment.
Now, the Ranger field equipment donated to the park through the Federal Ministry of Environment will support foot patrols in the park. In Abuja, on NTA Fine Face, NTA News.
The Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, says the legacy projects of the Premier of the defunct Northern Region, Sir Ahmadu Bello, will continue to serve as a guide for a transparent and credible leadership of the country. The Director General was speaking when he received in audience the management of Sir Ahmadu Bello Memorial Foundation. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports.
The Director General NTA Yakubu Ibn Mohammed says Sir Ahmadu Bello was an impeccable character who united the North and gave every part of it quality representation. The DG acknowledged the mandate of the foundation and urged it to continue to strive in mentorship and preservation of Sardauna principles. Yakubu Ibn Mohammed urged the foundation to join in the fight against COVID-19 and insecurity in the region and project values that will promote unity and foster national integration.
We are willing, it's part of our responsibility, part of our corporate responsibility to join hands with all institutions, NGOs, groups, organizations, and even individuals who have interest, whose interest is the carrying forward of the Nigerian project.
Leader of the delegation and managing director of the foundation says the organization, which is the brainchild of the Northern Governors Forum, has carried out critical infrastructure in different parts of the North, including humanitarian intervention in the Northeast region.
During the period of our 11 years, we've been able to train 2,651 young men and women who benefited from our entrepreneurship and vocational skills training program.
He appreciates the role of the Nigerian Television Authority in stabilizing the country and promised to partner NTA for effective service delivery. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
Enugu is next, and Mina will bring us details. Mina.
Hello, Lydia. Good evening and welcome to Enugu. The Enugu state government is ready to commit every required resources to ensure the success of the World Bank-assisted agro-processing productivity enhancement and livelihood improvement support appeals project in the state. The state deputy governor, Cecilia Ezilo, gave the indication while declaring open the Team A zonal review exercise for the Pre-6 implementation mission of appeals. Susan Eze has details.
The federal government agro-processing productivity enhancement and livelihood improvement support appeals project, targeted at improved agricultural production and value addition through processing and marketing of agro-produce, has been given priority attention in Enugu State, which is one of the 6 participating states, as it tallies with the state government's agricultural development agenda. For this reason, the State Deputy Governor, Cecilia Ezilo, who is also the chairman of Appeal Steering Committee in the state, promised that government is ready to commit all the required resources for the project for maximum benefit.
The Enugu State Government considers the Appeals Project a major vehicle for the realization of its lofty ideas in these sectors.
Satisfied with the project impact so far on agriculture, the National Coordinator of Appeals and other stakeholders are hopeful that the project will lift Nigeria to the next level of food sufficiency.
The policy thrust of the government is to achieve food security, livelihood, and to raise export potentials. So Appeals project, by and large, has also keyed into that policy thrust of the federal government.
Major aim of appeals is to make Nigeria once again a net importer of the key agricultural products.
The Appeals Team A is on a review mission to articulate progress made so far, preparatory to the 6th implementation meeting with the World Bank in February this year. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
Efforts to contain the spread of the contagious COVID-19 disease has intensified across the world. With availability of the vaccine, different countries, including Nigeria, are making efforts to win the fight. In the southeast, particularly in Enugu State, relevant agencies of government have mapped out strategies to take delivery of the vaccine whenever it's available. Comfort Ayim in this report takes us through the storage capacity, efficacy, effectiveness, and above all, what is expected after the vaccination.
The clock is ticking and the federal government is on preparations to upgrade primary healthcare facilities to be able to take delivery and ensure proper preservation of the vaccine, which requires cold temperature ahead of vaccination. In the southeast, particularly in Enugu State, relevant agencies of government have mapped out strategies to take delivery of the vaccine whenever it is available, though storage capacity is one of the constraints in this regard.
Yes, I think the most important thing here is for us to get the vaccine. Already, you could as well know that the state government and then even the federal government had actually done well in terms of immunization and logistics when it comes to vaccination. I think what is more important, even when we have the vaccine, like the CEO, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, mentioned that a few things have to be added, like freezers, just accommodate the vaccination, the vaccines in storage.
As the awareness is beginning to make a positive impact in the state, the fear and the anxiety that greeted the announcement of the mass vaccination is fast disappearing as against what obtained months ago.
I'm not scared. At least we've been taking immunization and we don't know where it's coming from. So anytime we are ready.
For me, I'm not scared. I'm kind of ready if it's going to be in a positive way for us.
On the efficacy, effectiveness, and what is expected afterwards, this is what the public affairs analysts have to say.
We expect that there may be positive outcome.
In Enugu, Comfort Ayim, NTA News.
And that's it from Enugu. Nationwide continues with Lydia in Abuja after this break.
Life can be very eventful. We curiously expect things to happen, even when we don't know what. Our human nature makes us like and repost lots of information. Some are unverified, inciting anger and hate. Sometimes innocently, other times the urge to break it first. This, in most cases, has caused destruction in many nations.
Of TV Guide is out with special focus on the game changer, His Excellency Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State. Broadcasting in a digital economy, Maxwell Lobo gives an insight. This edition also features Nancy Naji of AIT, a name synonymous with business. Meet the NCDC boss, Dr. Chikwe Ihekweazu. TV Guide, your indispensable companion, also x-rays the relevance of social media in the modern society. Meet some TV professionals who have impacted their spaces and other inspiring stories in sports, entertainment, and lots more. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or NTA stations nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Although social media as a channel of communication is inherently harmless, it becomes harmful and damaging when used without discretion and thoughtfulness. Bad social media users spread rumors and fake news without verification. But good social media users stop, reflect, and verify information before sharing it. Be a good social media user. Stop the spread of fake news. Verify the authenticity of your source and use social media responsibly for a better Nigeria. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, in collaboration with the National Orientation Agency.
Arsenal will seek revenge against Aston Villa after their loss to their opponents at the Emirates Stadium last time out. Will they succeed, or will Villa do the double over the Gunners this season? Find out this Saturday when Aston Villa welcome Arsenal to Villa Park on the Premier League Live, showing on the NTA network from 1 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank, Babai Jebu, Lipton, and Close Up, in association with Gold.com.
Thanks for staying. The Edo State chapter of the All Progressives Congress APC has enjoined the good people of Edo State and all party members to take advantage of the nationwide membership registration and revalidation exercise to join the nation's ruling party as it repositions for more transformative programs. The Chairman Membership Registration Committee in the state, Elder Omeni Sobotier, made the appeal while briefing journalists on modalities and lineup of activities for the exercise. Jude Abugu has the details.
Exercise is aimed at revalidation of membership and registration of new members to update the party's membership database. The chairman of the committee conducting the exercise in the state described the exercise as innovative and first of its kind in Nigeria, as the party would deploy modern technology to capture important data of its members.
This exercise is intended to make this a grass-rooted political party, where the victory of any aspirant is guaranteed by members from the smallest electoral units, the polling booths.
Explaining the features of the party's register and the process of the registration exercise, he noted that all that is required is for one to go to his or her ward polling unit with 3 passport photographs, where trained officials will enroll him or her. The membership registration and revalidation will commence on Tuesday, February 9, and will end on 23rd of February, after which membership registration will continue at the ward level. In Benin, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
Next is sports with Tamara Ibiwe.
Welcome to Sports Update. I am Tamara Ibiwe. The Nigeria Basketball Federation has expressed optimism that the men's and women's basketball team will shock the world and win laurels in Tokyo. The Tigers on Tuesday pitched alongside Australia, as well as the winner of the qualifiers in Croatia and Belgrade, while the Tigresses will face Japan, France, and USA. Nigerians, however, say with good preparations, both teams will excel.
It's not a group that's a walkover. We have the world number 1, the USA, in that group. We have the world number 5, France, in that group too. We also have Japan, who are the hosts, and number 10 in the world too. The Tigresses are number 14 in the world, so you can tell that that is a really, really strong group. Well, despite the fact that it's that strong, I believe that the girls can pull a surprise when it gets there.
The Nigeria Football Federation says the national under-17 football team, Golden Eaglets, will be called to camp soon to begin preparations for the Africa Under-17 Championship in Morocco, July 2021. NFF General Secretary Sanusi Mohammed says winning trophies is not the Federation's priority, but building a team for the future.
What we intend to do is to call them to camp immediately, do another screening, before the team, and then expose them to quality-friendly matches here in Nigeria, and of course even abroad, because that has been our system. So we'll continue to do that and make sure that we prepare them very well.
Now to tennis, less than a week to the first Grand Slam of the year. Organizers of the 2021 Australian Open have announced the introduction of live electronic line calls, saying movement activated and pre-recorded voices will be used for the terms out. foot faults and fault in matches during the tournament. This is to reduce the number of staff on site due to COVID-19 pandemic. And that's it on Sports Update. I am Tamara Ebiwe.
And that concludes Nationwide. But before we go, remember to be a star and join NTA in the stand against rape and rapists. I am Lydia Odijochi. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.